I think you feel elimination twice. One, on TV. Two, when the whole world's watching. Double. Then you gotta go tell your other, oh, hi, you hug everybody. Then when the whole world's tweeting about it. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. But it was the best thing I've ever done too. I don't know, never creating? That's like scary. Like, you know how you get writer's block? Like getting creative block is scary.
Sometimes my mind is telling me, you know, you were lucky. You were
Yeah,
fucking lucky. You weren't good. And your 15 minutes is over.
Exactly.
Can you go back on social media for a week after this show airs
No,
on YouTube?
I can't.
'Cause
Email
I do
me,
need you
email
to
me.
help to share.
No,
to
email.
share.
I'm talking about the kind of burnout where I can't get out of bed for 6 months. That's scary.
Wow.
I'm gonna be broke for a while. Like when you close down your studio, if you're like, okay, I need to be quiet. I need to figure something out. I need to step away from social media. I need to step away from my business. No sewing, no creating. That's scary for me. I finally like Merline. It took a while. I like everything about her, and it took a long time to actually like her.
Special guest, Merline, who was a celebrity star of TV. She's been in
Project Runway.
Project Runway All Stars.
Yeah.
So she did it twice already.
Twice. Craziness.
Yeah. Well, let's start with that. Project Runway season 14, which aired in 2015.
Yes.
You finished number 5 out of 16 contestants.
Yes.
Narrowly missing the season finale. You won 3 challenges and finished high.
What?
In number 4.
I forgot about all of that.
Yeah.
It was a great opportunity. I got to be top 5. And then I still got to go to New York fashion show, like the last thing to kind of showcase. So that was really cool. And it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. But it was the best thing I've ever done too.
All right, so walk me through it. How many
amazing.
times you failed audition before
So
you
I
got it?
auditioned 2 times. The 3rd time, they got it.
Awesome,
they got
awesome.
Yeah.
You find out you made it. Did they call you? Did
Yes.
they email you?
So I remember, I was in, at that time I was in Savannah, Georgia, and I was working on a collection. And again, I like after the audition, I was like, thank you, this is great. If it doesn't happen, it's okay, because they gave me really amazing feedback. And then I went on to this retreat. I was really exhausting. And then I got a missed call from LA, and I was like, this is great.
Did you feel that?
I was like, yeah, I was like, maybe. And I was like, but I didn't want to,
Because they wouldn't call you if it was a no,
Yeah,
right?
well,
they only call you.
Yes, but you become a
accepted.
semi-finalist. You don't even become a finalist, so you become a semi-finalist.
All right.
And so I got the call, became a semi-finalist. I called my mom, and my mom is from Haiti. So to them, like, my mom came here on a boat. So when she heard that I was gonna be on TV, she like lost it, And then when I found out, I was like, I think I probably have like 2 or 3 months to get everything together. But I was like losing my mind. You know what I mean?
Your job?
Yes, I closed down my studio. I put everything in storage. I closed my clients. I have a nonprofit. I teach fashion in the inner city at that time in Savannah, Georgia. I closed everything down to get ready for this. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Everything was on hold for this dream.
So must be one of the happiest days.
Yeah. It was the happiest day.
Did you celebrate that day when you found
No,
out? No,
I just go back to work. I don't know, it's an artist thing. You know artists.
I love your work ethic.
Yeah. Like we get excited. We'll probably go out with friends, but then you're back in the studio because you're nervous. You want to make sure your skills is amazing. So I was like practicing some certain things, because you don't know what you're gonna expect, and you don't know how great you are. You don't know about the other contestants. So it was a lot of like making sure that I was ready. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Was it stressful being on the show?
It
competing?
was hard. I didn't think it was gonna be that hard. So imagine 16 designers. Everybody is amazing.
Right.
No. You know how like when you go to college, there's that one kid that you like, he partied too much and he's not that great. But no, everyone on Project Runway was amazing. Like everybody had a great portfolio. Everybody had amazing personality. So you genuinely didn't know where everyone's gonna end because everyone is great in it. Like people already did things for celebrities. Like I was just in awe of how amazing everybody was. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I was just happy to be on the ship.
Yeah.
I didn't care. I was like, I'm here. I'm excited.
And then you won so much.
Yeah.
You did really well.
And I didn't think
you realized, I'm better than
I'm
half
good.
of these guys.
No. It's not even that. Like You know, like, so they give you 8 hours to sew a dress. You go to Mood, you pick the fabric, 8 hours to complete a project. Like, I didn't think I was capable of that kind of project. So when I would make something and the judges would be like, this is amazing, I would be like, for real? Like, because I didn't know what I was capable.
You didn't know how good you were.
I didn't know. And so every time I did something.
Yeah, in life, often we don't know how good we are. Like,
and so when you put in this kind of pressure, you don't know what kind of result or the kind of person you're going to be. And so I started to see, oh, I could do this, or I could do this. Or when I did the avant-garde challenge, I was doing all this craziness. I was like, oh my God. And it was all because it was like, you know, because they put you in this cookie jar and you have to like come up with these amazingness on like pressure. Yeah. And so I discovered a lot of things about myself that I did not know, you know?
That's amazing. It made you grow.
It made me grow.
As an artist, as a person.
It made me grow. It made me think out of the box. You know, and when you're in your own studio, you would do a pattern, but when you got 8 hours, you're like, okay, how can you have to problem solve. There were times I didn't even finish. You know, there were times like I would think big, you know what I mean? So I learned a lot about who I am as an artist and what kind of artist I want to become.
How long was the actual filming process?
I think it was about 30 days.
30 days, okay.
Every day, or something like that.
How long did it take until it got on the air?
Not that long. Editing was fast.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's not.
So were they airing it as it was being filmed still? Or they finished filming the whole thing? We finished filming. I think that's the process. I never know. I just know we filmed. No, we were still doing certain things while we were filming. So I did Project Runway and then I did All Stars. So they're both different. So it just depends on like, I think for a regular one, you're still shooting. I'm not sure about that one. Everything was a blur. Everything was so fast because when I was top 5, I still had to get ready for New York Fashion Week and it was airing. So I couldn't watch myself while it was airing because I was putting a collection together. So like I couldn't enjoy like when Project Runway was happening, I'm still making things happen. I'm still creating. So a lot of it is like, it's like a blur. Like my friends are watching it, but then I have to go and sew because I got a deadline. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So.
But you kind of enjoyed it?
I enjoy it at the moment, in the moment. Afterwards, it's like, for me, it's done because you're moving on to a different project. Because TV world's really different, you know what I mean? You shoot, you film, but you're still working on other projects. And so sometimes when it airs, you don't get to like sit down and eat popcorn. Plus I'm a workaholic too, you know what I mean? My family's watching, I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like gonna go work on another project.
So the first Project Runway was 2015. And that was a regular Project Runway.
That was regular, yeah.
And then there is a spin-off, Project Runway All Stars.
Yeah.
Which you participated in.
The following year.
Oh, the following year, but it
aired like a year,
way
later. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in there, you are basically, the concept is rookies versus vets, and and you were one of the rookies.
Yeah,
correct?
I was a rookie. I think I was top 8 or 7 or 9.
You finished 8.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. That was hard. So imagine the vets coming back. Like, you think because you did it one time, you're gonna be amazing, and it was still hard. It was still like, and it takes a lot because we wake up super early to.
What time do you guys wake up?
We wake up super early, like 4 in the morning.
What?
You got to get ready for a whole day.
So you have to go to sleep at 8, 9? 8.
Yeah, 8, 9, 10. It just depends on the day. So again, like it's a lot of work on us. Like when they see us on the TV, on the back end, it took a lot for us to get where we are, like to go to Mood, to pick up our fabric. It just takes a lot, you know what I mean? And so for me, it's not just filming, it's the whole package, you know, and it was hard. It was really, really hard. Really hard. And everyone was, listen, like, I don't know if you saw the other contestants, but they were amazing. And again, when you meet these contestants, some of them are like doing things for like big celebrities. And so it was still hard. That's how I came to top 8.
Project Runway All Stars, episode 1, you win. How do you feel?
I did.
How do you feel? You start off winning and beating everybody. The vets.
It was, I didn't think I was gonna win. I really didn't think I was gonna win because if you notice when she comes in to kind of critique our work, she basically said your stuff looked like House on the Prairie dress. That was the feedback I got. They're like, your dress like House on the Prairie, and so I had to go back and edit. So I genuinely didn't think I was gonna win. And
so the editing was good?
No, the editing was bad. So what happened is halfway through the challenge, she comes in and she tells us where we are. And so my dress was like house on a prairie. It was too much. And we didn't get good critique. And so we were just editing. And so it was really shocked when we got on the runway. They were like, you won. I was like, what? I won. I was so shocked.
How did that feel? Like you're beating everybody. Some guys been in industry, 20, 30 years.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean nothing. When you under that pressure, when you on that stage and they're giving you feedback, the last thing you're thinking is I won. Because in your brain is like, what happened is when you're set on that high standard, especially when you're an artist and you're so driven, you have to keep it. And that pressure, that's a different type of pressure.
So there was no delusion, oh, you know what, I'm the best, I got this, I'm
there's no delusion
I'm gonna win.
Because if you notice, that show is like one day you're in, and then tomorrow, listen, the next challenge, you're in the bottom. So it's like that pressure of like, how can I continue being the best? You know what I mean? I think that's that kind of pressure I had.
Tell us how it feels once you get eliminated in one of these reality TV shows. Is that really?
It's hard. It's hard.
There's no relief that it's over?
Both. You're exhausted, so you're like, I can sleep. Literally, you're like, oh, my bed, I can sleep. And then another thing is hard. I think you feel elimination twice. One, on TV. Two, when the whole world's watching. Double. Then you got to go tell your other, hi, you hug everybody. Then when the whole world's tweeting about it. So it's like really double. I think you get double.
Did you read tweets and message and Facebook posts?
Yeah, I stay away from that. But yeah, you get double. You feel it double. And then your family's like,
I bet you had a lot of fans. You were very lovable.
Yeah, they're so amazing. They're really encouraging. Like everyone that sees me, they're really, really, really encouraging. Because like if you look at my work, I'm really out there. Like a lot of things that I do is just like sometimes doesn't make sense. So a lot of it too is I question myself because I haven't seen other designers have done certain things like when it comes to avant-garde. So a lot of it sometimes is it's me like in my head. You know, artists, we're thinking like we're editing in our head. Am I good? Did I do this right? So it was really hard for me because I feel like I lean more towards a more conceptual artist than more ready to wear artist. And so I'm always in my head.
Less practical to wear?
It's less practical, yeah. So a lot of it, like if you notice, Project Runway, they're always like ready to wear. So I have to be like, am I doing ready to wear? Like when I got eliminated, I think I went too conceptual. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I forget, no, Merline, she has to wear the garment, you know? And I think that's why I love the show is now I am a conceptual artist. I do less ready to wear. I wouldn't know that about myself if I was never on Project Runway. You know, now I get to do all these crazy installation and I'm doing all these conceptual projects. And now I'm like, that is where I fit in. But I would never know that if I never got to discover that on the TV show.
Would you ever go back?
Yeah, it's fun.
Do you want to go back?
Yeah, because I think too, like, what other place that you get to work on your skills and then people are going to give you feedback? No, nowhere. Yeah. In the real world, people just don't buy your clothes. But you have people in the industry saying, oh, this is awful. Oh, I love the way you do this. Like I did lingerie and I want it. I never thought of designing lingerie. If I want to do a lingerie line, I know that I'm capable of doing it. But because they put me in that kind of situation, I rose up.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about Project Runway is that like every stage, whether I tried out before I got on the show, it made me better. Like I love feedback. I love when someone can be like, this is awful. And then it hurt my feelings and then I go back in and I become better.
Yeah.
I think that's what the show does for me. I become better every time. And so I'm gonna jump back in and I'll cry some more and then I'll jump back out, you know? But I think too, like, it makes you better. And I love that. Like, no one, your friend's not gonna tell you the truth. No one, but they will tell you the truth about yourself. And I think that's why I love it.
Yeah, truth is great.
You become the best designer. I don't know about my personal life.
Yeah. How would you know? Like,
how would you know you're the best?
You would live in your own world and, you know, and if everybody just was telling you nice things all the time. Like...
But like now I know like I have to go work on my craft or Merline, you're not really, now I know like I'm not a great seamstress. That's okay. I just hire another lady to sew for me.
Yeah. Is that what you do right now?
Yeah. Now I have I work with like manufacturer. I have a lady that she does all my sewing for me. But I get to just be the designer and then she sew for me. And then my creative thing, like when I do conceptual, I'm really good at that. Like I do architecture models on the body. I'm really good at that. I do that myself. So it's good to know where your weakness is and where your strength is so that you can be the better you. That's what we want, right? Why would I be a seam? I didn't go to school to be a seamstress. I went to school to be a fashion designer.
Evolution is taking place as we speak all the time. And yesterday me is not necessarily today's
today. Yeah. So I think for me, I want to grow as a designer, and so sometimes when I get feedback on that, my feelings are hurt, but it put in perspective like the kind of person I want to be.
Let's talk about design.
Yes, that's my favorite thing to do.
So are you inspired by a particular decades when it comes to design and fashion? When I look at some of the patterns I see you wear, not necessarily design on the show, but I see you wear, it reminds me of the 80s and early 90s, which is my favorite time for everything, design, music, fashion.
So a lot of my work is inspired by architecture. That's my foundation. I have a background in architecture.
Yep.
I have associates of arts in architecture. And so a lot of how I design and how I see the world is always through shapes and geometric shapes, you know? Period that if you always, like I always have a tail. The Victorian men attire, I'm obsessed with that.
Right.
The tailored suit, I'm obsessed with that. So I go from doing very conceptual work to like very Victorian, very, I love men tailoring. So I'm always like defaulting to that. So those are kind of like my inspiration for design.
So do you have any designers who inspired you?
Oh yeah.
Who are the main ones?
Iris Van Herburn, she's an Amsterdam designer. She is amazing. She's doing things with technology that I wanna, I'm working on right now. Like I wanna do laser printing dresses. I'm working on a huge installation, and she has been inspiring me to kind of go, she paved the way to doing technology garments.
Tell us about laser printing.
You know laser 3D printing?
Yeah.
So I'm working on an installation right now where I'm putting a conceptual garment together, and it's gonna be my first exhibition. And so Iris Van Herburn, she really inspired me to go conceptual and like kind of redefining fashion. What is fashion? You know what I mean? Is it a shirt? Is it a pants? Can it all be conceptual? And so I get to talk about that in my next installation next year. And so Iris Van Herburn is like one of my epic. I have so many books of her. I read about her. Every time her fashion shows come out, she is the one I like, my go-to designer. Yeah. I'm
gonna put the names and some pictures of her.
She's amazing. I love her. I even tried to work with her like one time. I was like, oh my God, I'll just sweep the floor. I just want to be near her. Yeah.
Who is the most famous fashion person you ever had the chance to work with?
Oh man, I don't think.
Heidi Klum?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I won her. Oh my God, my brain is like.
That? Come on.
Because a lot of it is just when you're in the industry. A lot of it is just like a step up. Like, oh, just a step up checklist, you know? So you think about the next thing. But yeah, I got to design a whole lingerie for her clothing line. And I won.
That's amazing.
And it was so nationwide. And so that
was that?
That was on the show.
On the show.
And that was nationwide.
All Stars or the regular?
No, the regular one. I won this lingerie look, and she sold it nationwide. And so for me, that was mind blowing. You know what I mean? And that was such a great experience to see I can design something like minimal and it could be manufactured. So that was a pretty cool experience. That was pretty cool.
Awesome. What's your favorite world-class designer label to wear?
I'm a thrift store kind of girl. So a lot of my clothes, I'm really inspired about how the old school tailored their garments. You know what I mean? I feel like we're losing it as designers. Remember when things were like lined? You know, a lot of garments are not lined anymore, or the construction of garment.
I sort of think I know what you mean.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about, like a good tailored suit. You know what I mean? Like a vintage. So I love going to the thrift. So I still do that now.
I just love like old school stuff.
Me
too.
You
know, like 80s, we had
I love the whole sleeves. I'm obsessed with the sleeves.
They had big lapels and maybe one button.
And I still go to the thrift store to look at the patterns of like, that's a great idea. Or like if I look at little details. That I want to put in my own clothes. So I've been doing that. I still do that.
I go on eBay and look for like used stuff if I want something very unique. Like this shirt.
I like
which really speaks to me. Like I found it on eBay like 10 years ago.
You see, I love stuff like that.
Maybe $15.
But you know that when you walk out the door, no one would have that same shirt. So that's pretty big.
Impossible.
So, just impossible. So that's why I love the thrift store.
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't it? See it?
Yeah.
So that's why I love to go to the thrift store, and I still go back. You know.
I saw my favorite stuff you ever wore, which I've seen on internet, was this blue jacket.
Did you?
Yellow and red.
I love that. I got it from the thrift store.
Very 80s looking jacket.
I love that jacket. Now I try to wear everything Merline. It's been hard. I'm learning to like, the reason before is I would design something conceptual and I was trying to sell. I'm like, why is this not selling? Is because I need to try it on. So what I do now is I try everything on before I sell. Like, is the fabric itchy? Can I wash it? How long does it last before?
Yeah.
The more like designers, like I need to wear it. I need to own it, because if I don't believe in it, no one else is going to believe in it. So now I'm all about wearing what I make and being passionate about it. And I do it smaller collection, but I wear everything now to experience it, because I'm the end product.
That's great. Yeah, you have to test your,
you have to test your product. You know, so that's kind of like where I'm at. So that's why I try to wear everything Merline Labissiere. Yeah.
Awesome. Is that your name, brand name?
Yeah,
as well?
Merline Labissiere. So I have 3 collections now per year. I have my ready-to-wear collection. I have my couture, like wedding, and then I have my installation that I do. Just 3. Nothing more, nothing less, but just 3 areas I focus on and make it. And I do it really small. So this year I want to focus on design and quality. So I produce less, but I have better quality of garments and design. Yeah.
How much does it cost to produce like an average one piece of clothing?
So it depends.
Like let's say it's a jacket.
Mm-hmm.
How much would it cost?
So
you?
it depends on the fabric. So like, let's just say this jacket, right?
Is this yours?
Yeah, everything I wear,
wow.
I try to wear Merline.
That's
I try
amazing.
to test it out. I wash it a lot. I put it in a dryer. I just take it to the extreme, you know?
Yeah.
So like this jacket is neoprene, and so it takes about just fabric alone is $35. Fabric alone. And that's not even the sewing.
And the rest is labor?
Yeah, it's labor.
What else?
So it's like, depending on who's manufacturing it, and it depends on like how many pieces I'm gonna manufacture. So the smaller the quantity, the more money. You know what I mean? So my customer at the end will probably—
The smaller the quantity?
Yeah.
The
So
more money?
Yeah, so if I'm doing only 5 small, 5 medium, 5 large, it's gonna be more expensive than if I do 20 small, 20 medium, 20, it's gonna be, it's gonna be. So I think for me, sometimes I struggle with that. And everything is made in America, so my customer tends to get it more expensive, so yeah.
So from start to finish, how does the designing and making a piece of clothing work? Did you start with a sketch, and how does it develop, just step by step?
Yeah. So I'm really good on process work. I think process is important for every designer, you know, like knowing the why. So I do a lot of research, color, fabric, swatches, design. So I do a lot of design. From the design, it goes into, we call it flats. So flats are like very blueprints or floor plans of like an architect. You get the blueprint. So I do a blueprint of the sketches, which is a flat. And then from there, we do a spec package. A spec package is all the details that takes to manufacture. The thread, the hooks, what size the hook, the pattern. And then from that, you do your, I grade, which is small, medium, large. So you have your pattern, small, medium, large. And then from there, then you send that package to the manufacturing company or your sewing seamstress. And then she makes everything for you. But I'm talking about from size small to your name tag. What color is your name tag? Where do you want your name tag? All of that is in your spec packet. So the spec packet is basically, if you hand that to someone, can they do it from beginning to end without you being there? And that's what the spec packet. You want to go detail where you want them to hang your clothing. You know, the clothing tag, your price tag, every single detail is into that spec pack. You send it off, and then they send you back your sample. And your spec pack has to be to the details. How many
back and forths do you have before you say, yes?
Yeah, it just depends. Like if you get your first sample, maybe 1 or 2.
Okay.
You're trying to do, because it costs you money every time they redo your sample.
Right.
So you better know that what you want is what you want, And that's why I always tell people when you're a designer is first starting, start local. Start with the seamstress. Understand the process, feel. Once you do 2 dresses, do 1 collection, then you can go and manufacture, because it's money out of your pocket. And do it small.
Yeah, people often get overexcited about their business idea or whatever, and they just overdo. They have a website which was never needed. It seems out because business didn't work out. So step by step. It's nice when you're full of enthusiasm and you think it's gonna work. You're 100% convinced, and sometimes that's what it takes to start a business.
Exactly.
You have to be a little bit delusional.
I agree.
Because odds are often against you.
I agree. And 2, like one thing I'm really passionate about now, because I guess my biggest thing is fail fast. I've had a lot of failure. Now I'm all about business. You can be a great designer, but if you do not have no business sense, it is hard. So I'm really, every time I meet a designer, I'm like, do you have a business plan? What's your cash flow sheet? You know, those are the things I had to learn from closing down my studio, manufacturing, you know, calling the buyers. Can you put things in stores? So I'm really passionate now about surviving as a designer also, and being passionate about being a designer, you know. So I had to learn it the hard way about branding yourself, having your cash flow sheet, you know, all the costs to create a product. So before the show, I had my own company before the show. And so I think after the show, everything went fast. I was doing LA Fashion Week, I was doing New York Fashion, because, you know, like the one thing Project Runway does is it gives you an amazing platform, you know. So I did a lot of speaking engagement, and I was going 100 miles per hour. And I think for me, I got burnt out.
You were using that fame you achieved
I think
in TV
it's only 10 minutes. 10 minutes is about a year and a half, I think. You get a year and a half to use your resources, and you want to use your resources great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They give you a platform, and
your time is very limited after the show.
Yeah.
At some point, it's gonna fade.
And I don't think it fade. I just think like it gives you an amazing platform, and you want to use it correctly. You know. And I think for me, I was doing too much by myself. You know, I had
You were doing too much. Like, why were you doing too much? Is it because you wanted to earn more money?
No, I think too, like.
Do you wanted not? You were maybe perhaps felt uncomfortable about turning down clients and losing extra work?
So I think there's a lot of it. One, there's a lot of like underneath foundation. So one, you have this amazing platform. You want to make sure you capitalize on it. Two, I'm a first generation Haitian baby. You know, my mom came from Haiti. So for me, the American success is real. Like, you know, like the American dream, you just go after it. That's like what we know, you know? And three, I didn't have a great team around me. You know, I think right now I didn't have a great team. So it was me and two interns. No, they were great, but there's so much, like when the magazine is calling you, you have to send in stuff. Then you have clients.
Did you need more employees?
Yeah, I needed more employees. So like,
could you afford more employees?
No, I can't afford employees. So I think for me, I'm learning now to put a team together. What is that? What it looks like to put a team together to support you. And so that's kind of like where I am right now. And that's a lesson I've learned from being burnt out. Is yes, you can have all this amazing dream, but you need a team together. You need people that's willing to take you to the next level. And that's kind of like where I am right now.
I watched a video where you said that the whole time you were sort of breaking even.
Yes.
And you were getting by, but you weren't saving.
I wonder
much.
where I said that. Yes. And so as artists, so like the first couple years, you just break even. You paying your rent, you're surviving as an artist. You doing your clients. And I think for me, there was this point where I came and I was like, no, I need business help. And so that's where I reach out to the SCORE, I reach out to a couple mentor people to just sit me down and talk about business, talk about how do I break even, you know, for my products and my customer. So and having a cash flow sheet. What does that even look like? Because I never went to school for business. I literally just jumped in and I've been learning along the way.
Yeah.
And so now I'm really passionate about a cash flow sheet. What does that look like? Your margin, what you need to know your profit margin on every product. I'm so passionate. I have Excel sheet. I'm in love with Excel sheets now.
Yeah, me
but
too.
again, I didn't know before. Now I'm like, give me my Excel sheet. That's a design now for me, you know?
Yeah.
But again, it took me failing, crashing, and burning.
Experience is the best university.
What? It hurts though. It hurts, but man, like you said, experience. Now I'm like, now I'm gonna do it different now. A team and my cash flow sheet, I'm unstoppable now.
What advice would you give to young fashion designers, to aspiring fashion designers out there?
Yeah. A couple of things. Ask for help. Never be too pride to ask for help. Yeah, you can put my email address. I love really talking to other people and telling them, because I think like a lot of us artists, we're isolated, right? We have, like, I meet a lot of these artists that have their studios throughout Miami, and we're all isolated and we're all doing it. But like, if we got together, I can learn something from you. You can learn something from me. We're just in our bubble. You know how we are.
Are you busy working?
Yeah, we're so busy like trying to make it that sometimes it's hard for us to sit and just ask, like, you know, because when you own a company and you're thinking about surviving, the last thing you want to think about is, can I schedule to go ask for help, or I got to put a business plan together, right? Because you're like, I got to go, I got to make it happen, you know? And like another advice I would say is put your business plan together.
Yeah.
Put your business plan. You need a
In
vision.
your head or on the paper?
No, black and white.
Really?
Black and white on paper, because when you do it on paper, you put down your, it has your clear vision of where you want to go, and it has it even when there's hiccups. Like, you're preparing for even hiccups. Now, for my company, I'm putting a team together, and that team include advisor board. I need people in my life that are going to speak life into me, that's going to be like, hey, I'm on this path. Do you think it's right? So I'm putting an advisor board together. I just need once a month to meet with them and tell me, this is where I am, where you think I should be. And then I'm going to have my own team under that. And so listen, because when you're so isolated and you are the CEO of your company, sometimes we don't have people in our life to speak life into us, you know? Because when you're in school, you have the teacher saying wrong, right? But when you're out here, you got to give yourself a structure where you thrive and you survive. Exactly. And so again, like, I put advisory board. Ask your teacher, ask the CEO that you like, someone that you just like, you see they're doing well, or you like something about them, or character. Put them in your life and say, hey, can you be the advisory board for my company? Can we meet? I don't care, once every 6 months, whatever works for them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Your cash flow sheet. Listen, cash flow sheet. And a cash flow sheet, all a cash flow sheet is your money in, your money out. That's all. On top, it's an Excel sheet. I will email it to you for free. Basically, it's to empower you, like having a vision, having a plan. Where you going?
Much your product costs for you before you can set the price. Yes.
And it took me a while to get there, because, you know, like, I'll design something crazy and I'm like, whoa, can my customer afford this? Who's my customer? Like, I was doing wedding dresses for a while. The average bride spends only $1,500 on a dress. The average bride. And then I found out the most design that's sold is the A-line dress for a wedding.
Is it a classic type?
Yeah, it's the A-line classic type. But like, again, if I'm over here I'm over here doing mermaids, and you can have mermaids in your collection, but you need to understand the market you're going in. You need to go talk to other people that own bridal stores. So things like that I learned along the way. And that's what I'm saying, business, you know. Have a vision, know where you're gonna spend your money. Start small. It's okay, start small. Give yourself room to fail. Fail fast. If you have an idea, go do it now, fail fast. Don't prolong the idea, go do it tomorrow. And if it fails, do something else. Get in the habit of failing.
Yeah.
I
like that.
I lost my studio 2 years ago, because I got burned out. I failed. Now I'm back up. I'm like, oh, I need a team. Now I know that I can't do it myself. But I had to crash and burn to come back up. So fail fast. And when people meet me, they're like, you're very successful. I don't feel like it. It's just because I fail fast a lot.
Yeah. Failure, you know, I think in Western world, in English-speaking world, we think it's a bad word. And we sort of think like, oh, I don't want to be associated with that. But we've been conditioned wrong. Because we've been conditioned at school. And they said, if you get an F, it's a failure, it's a bad thing. And your parents are not proud of you.
That's true. It's good. That's so good. You're so right, like that mindset.
And that sort of carries on, and failure is actually, you found out what doesn't work. So now you know what may work. You know,
geniuses. That's what I'm saying.
You're eliminating what doesn't work.
What doesn't work. Yeah. And if I didn't get burnt out on the floor, close my studio, I would never know. You got to hire a seamstress. I have to go manufacture. I need a team behind me. I need support. I need help. I wouldn't know that. You know what I mean? And so I love failing. And again, like, I need room to breathe. I need room to, like, it's okay to fail. And I think for me, that is why I closed down my social media, because sometimes there's so many voices that you need to stop to hear what you want to do. What Merline want to do? What is that? Do I want to have a collection? Do I not want to have a collection? I need to quiet those voices so that I can be focused to know what I want.
Yeah, I've heard you quit social media for a while. And you even
feel so
barely
good.
respond to my messages, actually.
Yeah, it takes a while. So
yeah,
it's hard sometimes.
How do you not open your phone?
I email. Email is faster.
But like I sent you a WhatsApp message when trying to arrange.
Yeah,
you don't read them. You read them once a day. Or?
Yeah, once a day.
Oh, that's a rule.
Yeah.
She couldn't do it.
Yeah. Okay, so this is it. So this is why I got burned out. My business was being successful. Ready for this? My clients text me. They message me. They email me. Ready? Your Facebook message, your Twitter message, your Instagram message. It was coming at me from all through direction. Then my assistant is emailing me. What? I was going 100 miles per hour. And so now I had to, for me, in the noise, we're very noisy as a society. In order for me to go to the next level and be successful and go one hard, I had to close those noise down. And I need to not be on all the time. Does that make sense? On. And my phone, like, I barely, my phone, I'll just leave it in my car and take a long walk. And maybe and then check my phone before I go to bed, and that's it.
I just have one request.
Yes!
Can you go back on social media for a week after this show airs
no,
on YouTube?
I can't. Email me.
Help to share.
No, email me.
We need Instagram. We need Facebook.
I can't do it.
No.
I can't do. I'm telling you, like, it will go, because all you have to do is put hashtag Project Runway.
Come on, help me and
all
help
you
yourself.
All you have to do is put hashtag Project Runway.
Come on. Okay, 3 days.
Just share it on her page and let her accept it if you have that.
No, I don't even have. I deactivate everything.
No. You have Instagram. I found you on Instagram.
No. That's
Last
the all
picture was
personal.
posted 3 days ago.
Another Merline. No, that's my personal one, but my nice one has more
Do you
followers.
have Facebook for real, personal or not?
I deactivated everything. It's there.
Can you activate it?
My MySpace is there. Remember MySpace?
No, it doesn't work.
Remember that?
No, unless you're a music artist, which you're not.
Remember MySpace?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I remember Yahoo. I remember Alta Vista.
Oh my God. You can
MySpace.
tell how old we are. You know that, right?
Yeah. Do you remember Audio Galaxy to download music?
Oh
Free
my
music
God. I remember
in
that.
99.
Oh my God.
And I remember I would set up a queue of 12 to 15 songs.
Yeah.
And I would go to sleep. In the morning, I would have those 12 songs. I would
Really?
be the happiest kid in the world because it was free.
That's the old day.
Now you can have it in 3 seconds.
In 3 seconds. Isn't that
12
crazy?
songs in 3
And
seconds.
I think too, I'm telling you, like, so the reason why I did left, my soul was busy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
My mind was busy. My
You
soul
didn't
was
have
busy.
peace.
There's this. So I love inner peace.
Yeah.
Listen. You cannot buy peace, inner peace. That's some seriousness right there. And I love success. And so I think for me, stepping back made me redefine what kind of success I want.
Yeah.
What does that success
What
look
is
like?
success?
What is success?
Is it earning money but
Exactly.
being unhappy?
Is it me being on LA Fashion Week?
Yeah. Is
New
it getting
York Fashion Week?
validated by fashion world
or is it
parents?
Or is it having likes? Is
Yeah.
it having likes?
Is it
Like,
having likes and
yeah, what is, and I think for me, that's why I'm so passionate about my podcast. I'm so passionate about having my YouTube channels, talking about redefining success, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I think for me, the hardest thing is, and I really want to inspire other people is, you hear these stories of people that was making 6 figures, right? And then they walk away from it all. They have money in the bank.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, when I closed down my business, I have no money. I literally had to go work at a coffee shop to figure my life out.
That's where I met you in
Yeah,
Starbucks.
I met you at a coffee store. Yeah,
and I remember when I met you, I said, "Wow, you dressed really stylish."
Yeah.
Because I've never seen anyone in Starbucks look that way.
Yeah.
That cool, you know.
And
you
so
were wearing a hat.
I was wearing my hat, and people meet me.
and
They're
like-
like, "You're on Project Runway." I'm like, "Hi!" And I get so excited to meet them. And
How
I think
often do people recognize you?
all the time,
Every day.
Yeah, at first it was hard because it was a humbling thing. But
Mhm.
then for me, I think where the kind of season that I am now is redefine where my identity is. Like for me, I'm a Christian.
Right.
So my identity isn't what God did for me, what Christ did for me. So I had to be like, my identity is not in success. So if I've never become successful anymore, am I okay?
Again, successful in what way? In
Exactly,
American way?
American way. So like, but you know, we're so conditioned to like, I had likes. I was editing my picture. I was going up. I was in LA Fashion Week. So sometimes your identity is kind of wrapped in it. So when failure happens, it's devastating, you know? So you have to go, you have to start saying, oh my God, you have to start looking at all of this and be like, what is this? You know, and being okay where you are.
You have to see things for what they actually are, not what your mind is telling you when it's in emotional state.
Yeah.
A part of mind, in the middle of the brain, there is amygdala.
Mhm.
It's responsible for fight or flight or freeze, and it's gonna give you when you're in it. he's gonna give you worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So when failure happens, people go in it, and instead of rationally thinking, you know, I didn't. Okay, so someone fails at university. All right.
Yeah.
What they did is they just failed at university. They didn't fail in life. They didn't fail as a good person.
But that's hard, and I think that's
they
why
just failed a degree in that university, and that's
hard.
That's all it means.
Our identity is so wrapped up in
That's
I'm a
why
fashion designer. I'm a student. So when that failure happened, like when on Project Runway, when you have to stand there and like your dress wasn't that great for a week, that's hard to stand there because you take it personal. You're like, oh, my dress, I'm a horrible person. You know, you start like thinking, you know, and so that's what I'm saying. Like for me, giving myself. That's why I always tell people like it's okay to start all over. It's okay for you to close everything down. And give yourself permission. I think that's why I stepped away from social media is I want to give myself permission to start all over. And it's okay. I don't have to have three figure in the bank for me to be like, oh, this doesn't work out. I got cushion. Mm-hmm. What happened with people that don't have cushion? Can they walk away from something they don't like and figure it out? You know what I mean? And I think that's what I'm passionate about of like, I'm going to press restart. And when I go, it's going to be the best. I'm going to be even better. I'm going to be even more successful. You know what I mean? Now I'm putting a team together. I'm asking advice. I'm about to open my studio and do all this amazing stuff. But I had to stop the voices because when my fans or when people love me, they make comments in the bottom. It affects me. It hurts. You know, and I got to make sure that I'm listening to the right voices. And so that I think for me, stepping away was just so freeing. You know, I'm like biking more. I'm happier. And a lot of it too, I have buyers. They can buy my dress. I can go if I want to.
We'll put down the link to the website.
Yeah, my website. My website, my work. So right now, if you want to find me, it's Merline Labissiere official.com. And then from there, you'll get all my other brands and everything. Yeah. But I'm really passionate about helping people. I have a nonprofit. I teach fashion in the inner city.
Is that your charity work?
Yeah, I do that.
Tell us more about it.
Yeah, and so I grew up super poor. My family's from Haiti, and so I got the opportunity to go to SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design.
Savannah, Georgia, everyone?
Yeah, Savannah, Georgia. I'm at SCAD, and I loved it, and so...
SCAD is Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah College of Art and Design in Savannah, Georgia.
Okay.
And so I'm really passionate about going to the inner city and giving them the tools that I learned. So I have 12 sewing machines. They were donated by the Sewing Machine Project. I have 12 sewing machines in my car. I have light boxes, and basically my students do everything. I started a nonprofit called Provokes Fashion Camp, and I'm really passionate about it because I grew up super poor, and I had the opportunity to go to SCAD and got this amazing education, and a lot of people don't get that, especially inner city kids. And so I found this amazing company that partnered up with me. It's called the Sewing Machine Project. And they donate 12 sewing machines. And so I go in the inner city, I grab all my sewing machine, I stuff them in my car, and I take it to the inner city, and my kids do everything. So I teach them how to draw, and then they make a dress, and at the end they have their own fashion show. And so a lot of it,
that's amazing.
Yeah, a lot of it too is because I don't have a lot of money, I partner up with these nonprofits that have a bigger resources, and then they pay me to come and do it, or they'll fund all the student supplies. And the students get to have this amazing experience. And so out of everything I've done, that's even better because you get to see their eyes light up when they first know how to sew.
Yeah, now they have skills.
They have skills. And so literally the other day, one of the directors texted me of this little girl, begged her mom for the sewing machine because she took my class this summer.
Right.
And she begged her mom for a sewing machine, and she's making her sister like an eye patch for Halloween. That's stories like that really impact me because at the end of the day, as artists, we consume, right? We went to school, and now we're making. Yeah. And so I think every artist should give back. And it's easy. Take a bunch of watercolor. Like when I started, I had one sewing machine, and I would go in the inner city, and everybody would rotate about that one sewing machine, and I would bring all my art supplies. And so I think I just had a passion. I like to just help, you know. I like to see their eyes light up. Like and I think for me, the only reason I started is because I did a mission trip with my church. We went to Poland, and they let me teach fashion in the inner city, and I was showing the little girls how to sew. And I kept saying, dobrze, which means good job. Yeah. And so I think that opened my eyes. And so when I came back to America, I was like, I should do it in my backyard.
Yeah.
I went all the way to Poland, you know? And so that's why I do it in my own backyard, you know?
How many students do you have now?
I work with three different organizations around Miami. And so each class would be like 15 students.
Okay.
And so I go to another organization, and every kid rotate all of them. So it's hard work. That's why I'm putting the team together so that I'm no longer doing it by myself. And so I'm actually coming out with my new YouTube, my first YouTube clip, and it's going to be basically the documentary of me teaching the girls, me setting up all the swim machines in the classes, and kind of seeing their progress. And so that makes me
We're going to share the link in the description below.
Yeah, I'll share a link. But that, like, you should see the kids' faces. And I get super excited. Their parents get excited. One girl, she never talked to any adult. And in my class, she was talking. And I was like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Little things like that where you touch the heart. And you won't see it until generations later, how you impact them.
It was a difficult transition from going from your business, your passion, to 9-to-5 job in a coffee shop.
Yeah, well, I make sure it's not full time because I'm still doing my business. I'm still putting my team together. I'm still manufacturing. I'm still working, doing my samples. I'm still doing everything while I'm doing that too. So I'm still doing all the craziness when I leave here. I think for me, when I closed down my studio, I think for me that was the hardest. I'm a hard worker. If you give me a broom to sweep, I'm gonna work hard. So I think transition to Starbucks is not that hard because I love coffee shops. I would have worked at any coffee shop anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think for me the hardest was when I closed down my studio and then figuring out what is next. Am I a failure? Did this not work? Did I not want to be in a studio? Do I want to be the artist where I just go to the manufacturing sites and then send my stuff to the... So I start to ask all these questions because it's like, the scariest thing for me is when you can't see your vision. That's scary. Yeah, I went blank for a while. Like, I'm talking about the kind of burnout where I can't get out of bed for 6 months. That's scary.
Wow.
That's
Did you get depressed?
Yeah, I got super sad. I don't know if I got like depressed. I don't know, maybe I did. I got super sad. I think for me, I'm such a control freak. I like to be like, okay, I'm gonna do a fashion show this week. But like when you're so exhausted, you're like, you don't really know what's next. I think that's scary for me. And it was a good place because I needed to, like again, hearing the noise mean I'm gonna be broke for a while. Like when you close down your studio, if you're like, okay, I need to be quiet. I need to figure something out. I need to step away from social media. I need to step away from my business. No sewing, no creating. That's scary for me, you know? And so I did that. And then I just start working at Starbucks to just be like, just to figure life out for a while. And that's okay. And that's scary.
Could you be happy without creating?
No, not creating, not being on the platform. That's okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
not being
absolutely.
on TV, not being this successful. I'm okay with
You're
that.
still
But
creating, but
yeah,
you know.
but if I just work at Starbucks and I had a studio down the block, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm like literally content. You know what I mean? Because at the end of it, that's really I just want to be an artist. I want to be an artist and get to do what I love without the pressure of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And that's my dream. That's just my dream, you know?
What do you do daily to stay in high spirits? Do you exercise? Do you meditate? Do you do yoga?
I like that. Man, being happy. I think being happy is not the right word. Having joy is the right word. Because happiness is temporary. I'm happy because I have money. Those feelings are like come and go. Yeah. I think what the season that I'm in now is trying to find joy when life is not going what you think it should be. That's a different conversation. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So happiness is when I'm on top. That's easy. That's easy to be happy. What happens when you're not sure about life? Can you still have joy? Does that make sense? And that's like something deeper. And so there's a couple of things that I do. For me, I'm a Christian. So in the morning, I work at Starbucks. So every morning I'm at the beach. Every morning I
right here in South Beach?
Yeah, every morning, 6:30 a.m. I take my Bible, I take my journal. I do a lot of self-reflection.
Nice.
I read my word. I'm trying to get my mind right with God. Connecting with God is really important to me.
Yep.
I work out.
Yeah.
I think for me, one thing I always want to say is the reason why I closed my business down is being burnt out means there's no balance in your life.
Right.
You're not taking care of Merline. So the biggest lesson I've taken care is I get a Sabbath every week. I'm not picking up my phone. I'm not doing laundry. I'm not doing nothing. You know how hard it is to do nothing? Because you'll look at that laundry on the side. You'll look at your to-do list. You'll feel guilty.
Maybe you shouldn't be in your house when you're doing seminars. Be somewhere where there's nothing to do, like.
Yeah, I want to do nothing.
In a remote beach somewhere.
Yeah, so I'm at the
Maybe
beach
Key
all
Biscayne
day.
somewhere.
Yeah.
It's pretty quiet.
I'm at the beach. I go to the museum. I go to other coffee shop, and I write in my journal. I write letters. I love writing letters to people.
Me too. I love writing postcards by hand.
Postcard? No, I write the whole letter. You know, Pride and
Oh.
Prejudice. I'm like, if you know me, I'm all about like waking up at the gym, 4:45, crushing it, da 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 da. But now I'm like, how can I have all of that but have it in a balanced way? Because as a human, we need to be fulfilled. We need to make sure we're okay. Because mental illness is on a rise. And we're not taking care of ourselves. You know what I mean? And so when we have spaces where we're not taking care of ourselves, it's easy for us to be depressed. So it's balanced. You want to have a balanced life. It's not like you're successful, but then you suck at life. You don't have friends, or you don't have time to do life with people. The biggest quote that someone told me that really impacted me is, we get successful and we don't take care of ourselves, right? Then when you get all that money, you put it back into your body because you didn't take care of yourself along the way.
Yeah.
Oh, when I heard that, I was like, oh my goodness. So if you're not doing it along the way, you're one day gonna pay that price. You're gonna pay that price anyway.
I'm looking for the balance every day. I'm still tweaking and calibrating.
Every day.
And it's gonna be a lifelong learning process.
It's a process. Because when you have a family, you want to give time for that, Because, I love success, but at the end of it is like, what cost? Let me tell you, your trophy don't hug you at night. No trophy's gonna hug you at night.
You live in Miami Beach?
No, I'm planning to. I'm excited. I applied for artist residency. I did an artist residency with Savannah, with my school. It was an amazing experience. And so I'm planning to do a couple more artist residency where I travel. So I'm submitting proposals right now. There's one on the beach, I think with Fountainhead. Artist residency is where they give you like a free space to work on your crazy thing.
How big is the space?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I did one with SCAD. It was the most amazing experience. They gave me a budget and I can create anything I want. Mm-hmm. And then they gave me boarding, and then they gave me a studio to create. And that freedom of just, you don't have to worry about anything for a season. That was amazing. And so I want to do another artist residency on the beach. So I'm excited. And then I'm going to do a couple travel ones. So I've been looking into one. Because now I'm a conceptual artist. I'm a conceptual contemporary artist, which I'm excited, and it's scary. It's a new direction. I really don't know.
Conceptual artist, in one sentence, what does that mean for those who don't know?
So basically, I'll be working on architecture and fashion installations for like museum and exhibitions.
I see.
And that's what I'll be doing.
Installations meaning
so like
interactive
installation. When you go to a museum, you get to have these
a screen, for example?
Yeah, so it'll be 2D art,
okay.
3D art, and then also interactive installation where you can just walk through the space. Like I will create a architecture space, and then you would walk into the space, and then you would see fashion installation within that space. And again, I'm passionate about talking about the relationship between architecture and fashion. I'm working on my book right now for my exhibition next year, my first exhibition. So that's literally what a project I'm working on while I'm working at Starbucks. I'm coming out with my book, and it's gonna be my first installation. It's scary. I'm going in territories I've never done before. I've never been an art installation. Like I've never been a conceptual artist before. Before it's fashion. Like fashion, you know the rules. You design something, you get it manufactured, yada yada yada. Now I'm like creating this installation, and it's basically to go deeper into architecture and fashion because I love it so much. And talk about the parallel between the two and kind of show people my process work. And so it's scary, but I'm excited. I had to close down all the noise to know that's what I want to do. Because like, how do I get paid, right? Mm-hmm. As a conceptual artist. And so that's a whole different field that I'm getting into and I'm exploring. It's scary, but I'm excited because that's why when I got eliminated from Project Runway, they were like, Merline, like you have these amazing ideas. When you finally find the material to complement that, you're gonna be unstoppable. And that was the best advice I got when I left that show.
What's your biggest fear?
I don't know, never creating. That's like scary. Like, you know how you get writer's block? Like getting creative block is scary. After you fail, the question of can I rise again? That's the writer's block for me. Can I rise again? Can I be, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, actually I did experience it as a business person.
Yeah, as a business person. Like you feel like is it possible again? Is this it?
Can I reach the level I've been at
before
4 years ago? Because it was my heyday.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes I don't believe it. Sometimes I believe that.
Yeah, and that's hard.
Sometimes my mind is telling me, you know, you were lucky. You
yeah,
were fucking lucky.
that's
You weren't good. You were lucky.
Yeah,
And your 15 minutes is over.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like when I redefine my success, if I do this conceptual artist and no one sees it or a small portion of see it, I'm okay with that. And I had to be okay with just being that kind of creator. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's it. That's my biggest fear. Can I rise again?
Tell us something not many people know about you.
Oh man, I love writing. Okay, so I love Pride and Prejudice. I'm obsessed with Pride and Prejudice. You know, like there's a part of where she gets
TV show.
British the movie. I love everything British, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I love high tea. I love afternoon tea. I watch BBC. I love everything British.
Oh, amazing.
I love The Crown. I love Poldark.
Have you ever tried to get British accent or mimic British accent?
No, not yet.
No?
I think I'm just gonna marry one. How about that?
Yeah,
I think that'd be better for me. But one thing people don't know about me is like I love like the Victorian age where the page is the letter. You know, when you fold the paper and it becomes the envelope.
Right.
So that's how I write my letters to people.
That's beautiful.
So it's like and I always start is my dearest so and so. I hope you find this letter well, and then I like start my.
I love the language.
So I'm obsessed with like
language
writing.
is an art. Isn't
I
it?
know. I love writing letters and people receiving the letters. So a lot of people don't know that about me, but I love writing. Yeah.
Well, Merline, was a privilege having you here.
This was amazing.
You know, you are so amazing. I think you're so inspirational.
Thank you. You're so kind.
The empathy you show for the world and the talent which you share with kids, with everyone, really. That's really inspiring. You know, we need more people like yourself in this world because the world is. It
can be hard sometimes.
It can be hard.
But again, like if you could rise, forgive yourself. That's a hard one. That's a hard one.
And you have to embrace yourself. You
to.
have to love yourself 100%.
Yeah.
You have to think, I am enough. Regardless of what people say, regardless of what they said in the comments or what my friend thinks or what even my parent thinks sometimes. You have to love yourself because if you don't love yourself, can you love anyone else?
Yeah. And two, it takes I think for me, this is the best season where I finally like Merline. It took a while. I like everything about her, and it took a long time to actually like her. It's okay to start all over. It's okay to fail, and you will rise and redefining like what success is to you. And I love that. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.